Welcome to Indie Depth, the show where we go in depth with independent filmmakers about their filmmaking process. I'm your host, Andrew Froning, and today with me I have producer, director, writer, Danielle Earle.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Well,
much for having me a part of this program.
of
It's awesome.
course. Welcome to the show. This is great. I like to talk with filmmakers, run the gamut, producing, directing, writing. You're all three of those. Where do you find the time?
I know. It's like basically as a writer, I started out. I just try my best like in the weekends or like after work. I try my best to kind of just figure out. And those are the times that I start getting ideas and for like another project. And so yeah, as writer, we just find any segments of like our day to kind of work on it. We try our best.
I was working last night until like 3 a.m. writing something because I was stuck, and then all of a sudden it started flowing, and even past 3, I wanted to keep going, but I knew I had this interview with you in the morning.
It's okay. It's okay.
So yeah, we really do have to struggle because some writers have a structure. Every day I wake up and I write, but I got a job I got to drive to, so it's a little difficult.
It's like, even with me, I work as a teacher, during the day, and I help out with, high school students and stuff. So it's like, it's hard. It's like trying to find your time, and you're helping with other students, with their dreams and their, aspirations and everything. It's like you're trying to find, time for yourself because you're doing the same thing, so, but yeah, I totally understand what you mean.
And you produce a lot of projects. You sent me a laundry list. Like it was, I can't even remember half of them.
Oh, it's okay. You know
So
what? It's like, yeah, it's like, when I started, I look at it too, but it's like the years go by very fast. It
yeah,
start off slow, and it's like a small amount of, projects, and like, but it's scary how it kind of adds up
right,
sometimes.
and that's great that you're so proud of them all to share them all. And they're in the description in down there. Um, so um, producing. How do you find the right project? How do you decide? Because you're not just producing your own projects. You're working with other directors and other writers to make work that is worthwhile.
Yeah, it's like, I try my best to, now it's like in my time in my career right now. When I started out, it was all about like my projects and independent work and trying to get it out there. It was like before the whole phenomenon of like Facebook and Instagram and getting your stuff out. So, it was a struggle, especially but now it's like I want to help with other filmmakers and being a part of what they're doing. A lot of the new generation right now is like making just phenomenal work. It's just like fearless of what they're putting out there. So it's like I really would love to be a part of that, and that's kind of how it starts. So yeah.
Okay. So, what do you look for in a project? Do you look at the filmmakers themselves? Do you look at the script?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of, definitely the script, the concept, and just like, and how different it is. I'm always looking for something that's like, original. We see now it's like so many like remakes of movies. They were like, oh no, why are they doing this? Because it's like people are just like, I guess it's maybe harder now, I guess, like to try to find so many projects out there to find some originality and everything. So, but you just kind of have to try to find something, within yourself. Like there's a story that somebody you haven't heard before, and that's kind of like the trail that I, go on.
Okay. And I know producer can mean a lot of things, but usually in indie film there could be one producer. What do you do to step in and help these young directors?
Absolutely. It's like, I mean, when you're talking about like, producers, it's like it could be the person picking up the crew. I've done that. It could be in terms of picking up food. You're basically all these different jobs into one, and also the PA if you don't have that on set. So it's like, and then when I work with, other producers, it's actually a better thing because you have more people taking on some of those roles, and we're all working together, creatively, and, but, in terms of like even example, Jay Palmieri, we were actually just Facebook friends in the beginning, and it was during the time of Facebook. We try to promote our work, and I saw his work, and I was like, wow, this, and he's, younger than me. I'm 35 right now, and now I'm going to be 36 soon. And so when he just seeing his passion, and he's so advanced of what he's, all the projects that are coming out from him, I'm learning a lot from him too. So along the way, so yeah, so that's kind of what I look at. So
good. I mean, you got to look at who you're working with and their drive, because if they're not going to match your energy.
I've been there. Like I've had experiences with that, and it's like, so, a lot of them have their own, vision. You're trying your best to work, and as producers, it's like you try your best to kind of manage it. You're kind of like a manager on set or at a job. People don't want to work with each other. There's chaos going out behind the scenes, and people don't see that. Everything looks great, but you kind of just, you try your best to, it's like a film family. Everybody try to work together, and we all have the same goal, the outcome of it. So you just look at that,
right?
Value that.
That's the thing to focus on, getting it done. I love that time, and other people do. When you get on set and you get to see all these people, maybe somebody you've seen their work on Facebook, or you haven't met them yet, or just somebody you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, oh, you want to talk, and then before you know it, like 2 hours can go by. So I'm always the director that's like, all right, guys. Everybody's set up. We gotta go, or else it's gonna be a long day, and you're not gonna be this happy.
Yeah, especially if you're working on like locations, and you only have a certain time, like hours to film.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like maybe like 2.5 hours we have that window, and they're offering their space maybe for free, or if it's like a small payment. And so yeah, it's hard. You kind of have to work with what you have with that.
You've got the setup time, and then you've got the tear down time, and that's something that sometimes you don't think about when, or the younger filmmakers, they might just go over their heads. Oh yeah, we got 6 hours. I think we can shoot this in that time. But then you need buffer space around that, or it's not going to work.
It's right.
And now you produce your own feature film too, which you also directed. Let's talk a little bit about the producing on that end. Like, I imagine you're the lead producer on that.
Yeah, I have I've been doing producing independently, in the beginning, and but since like with Lover's Game, I've been able to get other producers, like also with Jan. She did a lot of like LGBTQ projects. She even worked with Gwyneth Paltrow's mom, in her latest film, and it was weird because I was just like, I put an Indiegogo out, and it was like we didn't have a lot of people in terms of raising funds and everything, and I reached out to my friends and family, but there's people that were looking at it on the internet, and she was like, wow, I saw this trailer, I think it's great, I want to help you with post-production for this, and she's out in Oakland, California, so in the area, so she was like, she even offered a screening for the whole film at the Brava Theater in close to San Francisco. So there's like 500 people that came, and this is like an independent film. They're just like sending it out to film festivals, and just having that support.
What? And you're in New York.
Yeah.
And then all the way in California, just through Indiegogo, they were just surfing around.
They were just surfing around, and like, and because I guess at that time it was like during when like Carol came out, the movie, the LGBT, film that got nominated for an Oscar and everything. So things were like trying to like progress with that, whole element in terms of filmmaking. So a lot of people were trying to find content, out there. But also Alan Greenstein, he's actually out in Maryland. I've known him since Brooklyn is in Love, and how Brooklyn is in Love started, I had zero budget. I kind of just started out grassroots, doing it on my own. I was still in school. I was, in graduate school at the Academy, not the Academy of Art, but City College of New York, because I was going for my master's in documentary films. And so, yeah, that's when I kind of just, I had my own camera, like had no crew for the first season, it was just me doing it, getting actors and locations. So he saw the series online, and he was like, I want to be a part of this, and he started donating for the second season, and really he's been one of my executive producers ever since that. We've been working together, so he's like, whatever project, let me know, I want to be a part of it and support it. So
what a great collaborator. That's fantastic. So you slowly build this community from starting small. Everybody starts small, but I think the trick is you got to finish.
Yeah,
and then
Yeah,
you got to advance. Once you're ready for that next step, you'll know what you feel comfortable trying, or what you might not be comfortable trying. You might just shoot for that. But
right.
the important thing is to take that step.
It's true. It's like, even with like the projects and going on, I'm still learning. Like a lot of like filmmakers now, like they're able to get like $50,000 in terms of production on Indiegogo or like
I,
Kickstarter in like a week. So it's like with me, I'm like just doing it, just reaching out to people and using my own funds and kind of getting it out there. But yeah, you kind of just like it gets a little bit better, gradually and everything and the connections and stuff, but you always still have the same challenges, as if you were still working, as a, beginner type thing, because camera equipment and everything, learning about insurance. Now the way that we live in today in terms of COVID, 19, and
yeah.
it's going to be even more challenging for everyone.
Oh my
So
goodness. Everybody's going to need like mask insurance or something.
it's so true.
His mask fell on the ground. Everybody disperse. That's going to be interesting.